New information is provided regarding the coronavirus in the United States. Unique traditions continue in Bakersfield during today's Ash Wednesday recognition. And new body camera footage of an officer arresting a 6-year-old is released. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. The CDC provides an update on its investigation into the coronavirus disease outbreak. According to the agency, there are now at least 59 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in the United States. Those include 45 repatriated individuals, 42 who were aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship, and 3 from China. The total number of confirmed cases also consists of 14 individual travelers who were diagnosed in the U.S. after returning from overseas. The CDC has tested at least 445 individuals for the coronavirus.
It's not so much a question of if this will happen anymore, but rather more a question of exactly when this will happen and how many people in this country will become infected.
The CDC says it may expand airport screenings to include travelers coming from countries where the infection rate has spiked, like Italy and South Korea. Right now, it's advising travelers to avoid all non-essential travel to South Korea. For those traveling to Japan, Italy, or Iran, it's urging high-risk travelers, the elderly especially, anybody with a respiratory issue, to take special precaution and perhaps consider not going at all. Meantime, Wall Street is once again trying to bounce back from a big sell-off yesterday and Monday. Stocks went tumbling yesterday after U.S. health officials warned the coronavirus may spread throughout the country, and the public should be prepared for business and other disruptions after its worst 2-day point decline on record. Today, the Dow is down again. It opened up about 300 points, but it has slipped since then. Right now, the Dow is down about 137 points so far in trading. The NASDAQ is actually up 12 points, and the S&P 500 is down 10 points. According to data from S&P, Dow Jones has lost about $1.7 trillion in market value this week. Investors continuing to put money into assets that offer more safety than stocks in times of stress, such as gold, the dollar, and U.S. Treasury bonds. We'll have a check of the final numbers on Wall Street coming up tonight on 17 News at 5. Back here at home, funeral services for firefighter Patrick Jones are set for tomorrow. That's happening at 10 a.m. at Tulare Methodist Church on West Kern Avenue. Jones died last week alongside Captain Raymond Figueroa while they were fighting a fire at the Porterville Public Library. Yesterday, Captain Figueroa, who was from Delano, was laid to rest at North Kern Cemetery. Today, millions of Christians around the world will mark their foreheads with ashes to signify the start of Lent. In downtown Bakersfield, a unique tradition where the church meets people where they are, with ashes on the go. The pastor with Emmanuel Lutheran Church stood on the corner of L Street across the street from Kern County Jury Services Department, offering ashes for people heading to work. The tradition marks the start of Lent, which is the 40-day season of fasting and sacrifice leading up to Easter.
So throughout the day we can be reminded of who we are in Christ and how we are entering this season before Easter.
Ashes on the go ended this morning at 8:30.
Yeah, another clear day, and it's actually going to be warmer than yesterday. We hit 76 today. We'll be closer to that 80-degree mark. And again, we are under the clear skies, and no change on that front for the next few days. 75 degrees on the temperature under a calm wind right now. As we take a look at the temperatures throughout the day, we will be in the upper 70s, maybe even hitting 80 degrees, and then we'll slide back into the mid-50s by midnight. Tehachapi right now sits at 59 degrees, an east-southeast wind at 11. As we go throughout the day here, we will be looking at some lower 60s and then upper 30s as we approach midnight. How long will the warmth stay around, and are we still expecting some rain? I've got the details on that coming your way in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. The family of a man killed Sunday night by a suspected drunk driver is reaching out to the community for help. According to a GoFundMe account, 34-year-old Marco Antonio Garcia was a father of 4, a husband, brother, uncle, and great friend. Officers investigating say just after midnight on Sunday, 25-year-old Jonathan Lopez was driving drunk on Edison Highway east of the Mount Vernon overpass when he hit Marco Antonio Garcia, who was crossing the street. Garcia died at the scene. KCSO says Lopez took off. He was arrested a short time later. He faces DUI and felony hit and run charges. Lopez is now out on bail. You can find a link to Garcia's GoFundMe account on our website, kget.com. Just click on the hot link icon. Court watch now. A former McFarland basketball coach accused of sexual misconduct with a teenager had a hearing postponed this morning. According to court documents, Fernando Pruneda tried to get sexual favors from a JV basketball player. That player also told detectives Pruneda touched him inappropriately and forced him to sleep in the same bed with him during away tournaments. When deputies questioned Pruneda about the text messages he allegedly sent the boy, Pruneda told them he was just joking around. He faces several charges, including lewd acts with a minor. Pruneda is expected back in court next week. A Bakersfield gynecologist and cosmetic surgeon accused of fraud was also due in court this morning but had his hearing postponed. Dr. Jason Helliwell faces 31 felony charges, including grand theft and making false claims for health benefits. Police say he ordered unnecessary drug and allergy tests. Helliwell is due back in court March 10th. 17 News is your local election headquarters. Former Vice President Joe Biden received a major endorsement today in South Carolina. Congressman James Clyburn endorsed Biden for president, saying the former vice president has the character and the heart for the job. Clyburn, the highest-ranking black member of Congress, encouraged his constituents to also throw their support behind Biden.
This country is at an inflection point. It is time for us to restore this country's dignity, this country's respect. That is what is at stake this year.
Biden thanked Clyburn for his support and his longtime friendship. The former vice president is hoping Clyburn's endorsement will boost him to a win in South Carolina's primary this Saturday, promising he will win the presidency if he wins South Carolina. Fireworks on full display during a confrontational Democratic debate last night in South Carolina. Bernie Sanders' rivals taking the gloves off to try and dent his front-runner status. Here's NBC's Kristen Welker.
To South Carolina.
For the first time on a debate stage, Bernie Sanders getting the front-runner treatment, facing an onslaught from his rivals.
Bernie, in fact, hasn't passed much of anything. Bernie will lose to Donald Trump.
Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg leading the charge, seizing on reports from intelligence officials that Russia is trying to help Sanders win the nomination.
Vladimir Putin thinks that Donald Trump should be president of the United States, and that's why Russia is helping you get elected, so you'll lose to him.
Sanders responding with this stern warning.
Hey, Mr. Putin, if I'm president of the United States, trust me, you're not going to interfere in any more American elections.
Former Mayor Pete Buttigieg not letting the issue go.
I mean, look, if you think the last 4 years has been chaotic, divisive, toxic, exhausting, imagine spending the better part of 2020 with Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump.
Sanders firing back.
I'm hearing my name mentioned a little bit tonight. I wonder why. I will tell you, Pete, what the American people want, and Joe, what the American people want. They don't want candidates to be running to billionaires for huge amounts of funding.
Some of the biggest fireworks erupting when Sanders was pressed on whether a self-described democratic socialist would give a free pass to authoritarian leaders.
I have opposed authoritarianism all over the world.
But Sanders again doubled down on his praise for the late Cuban dictator Fidel Castro.
I said is what Barack Obama said in terms of Cuba, that Cuba made progress on education. Yes, I think, really? Really?
We're not going to win these critical House and Senate races if people in those races have to explain why the nominee of the Democratic Party is telling people to look at the bright side of the Castro regime.
Also under fire, Michael Bloomberg. Senator Elizabeth Warren slamming him for allegations made in the 1990s by an ex-Bloomberg employee who said the billionaire businessman told her to get an abortion.
At least I didn't have a boss who said to me, kill it.
A claim Bloomberg has repeatedly denied under oath.
I never said it. Period. End of story.
It was also a critical night for former Vice President Joe Biden, who defended his record with African Americans, who make up 60% of the state's Democratic voters.
I've worked like the devil to earn the vote of the African American community, not just here, but across the country.
If you don't win South Carolina, will you continue in this
I will
race?
win South Carolina.
All right, sir.
NBC's Kristen Welker reporting. Gun control, also a major topic last night in Charleston, where a white supremacist killed 9 people in a 2015 church shooting. Biden slammed Sanders for repeatedly voting against stiffer gun laws. while Sanders pointed out he actually has a poor rating with the NRA. Back here at home, the city of Arvin is tens of thousands of dollars in the red and looking for a solution. Mid-year budget reviews are in, showing $40,000 in deficit. By the end of the fiscal year, in July, the city could be $100,000 down.
When I first came here, the city was looking at a $800,000 deficit, and we were looking at massive layoffs or things like that. The good news is that for the last 2 years, Arvin has been in balance. We've closed out 17-18 with about a $400 surplus, and 18-19 is about the same.
Arvin's tried to keep up this streak. This year, the city tried changing to a less expensive health insurance plan for its workers, which would have saved the city $90,000, but it says the unions shot that down. The city tried to ask the unions for a one-time $60,000 concession, but they refused that as well. As a result, Arvin's now $40,000 in the red in legal fees for these union negotiations. And the cost of the current health care plan is going up by 8%. While no action was taken last night, the next Arvin City Council meeting will be held Tuesday, March 10th. Making miracles happen with pancakes for a purpose. Yesterday, a tall order counted in short stacks. IHOP restaurants in Kern County dedicated National Pancake Day to helping Children's Miracle Network. All day long, they served up free short stacks of pancakes to customers for a donation.
People come out and they show up in droves to get their free pancakes, and then they give back. They are making donations to make a difference. It truly is a short stack for a tall cause.
And today we're happy to report they met their goal. More than $10,000 raised with a special shout out to miracle maker Norman Mays, who owns the IHOP on Buck Owens Boulevard. He donated a final $1,000 that put them over their goal. More than 4,800 pancakes with a purpose served up in total. All of the money goes to CMN and the Lawrence Small Children's Center at Bakersfield Memorial Hospital to enhance medical care for local kids. A shocking arrest in Florida, why officers handcuffed a 6-year-old. And home sales soar. We'll have a look at the trend if you're looking to buy or sell. That's still ahead in your 17 Business Watch. I just had to go outside and sit and soak in the sun for a few minutes this morning, Kev. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, not only are we seeing the sun, but we're also seeing some warm temperatures out there, and we don't even officially hit spring until March 19th. So have we sprung it early? Sure feels like it. And Wasco right now under the clear, 74 degrees. We've got Frazier Park, nice blue skies in the mid-50s. Golden Hills, sunny skies, and 60. Bakersfield at 75. Under a calm wind, we're only expecting a light breeze as we go throughout the day here. Overnight, we were at 42, shy of the normal of 45. Normal high today, 66. We'll be far from that. We may be closer to a record. Can we tie it? Can we break it? Or will we a degree or maybe two short? It is 80, and that was set back in 1992, and your sunset tonight will be at 5:48. And valley areas into the 70s, 50s, and 60s in the mountains and Mojave. From the north to the south, along the coastal areas, nice and clear, no advisories. Just a very calm Wednesday for everybody. Right near 70 in Sacramento, 80 in Fresno. We're looking at 78 in Los Angeles, mid-70s in San Diego. In fact, California warmer than what we're seeing in Las Vegas today. They're going to be looking at a high of 60. And Morro Bay looking great. Blue skies and a nice temperature of 71 degrees. Water temperature a little on the cool side with the mid-50s. But, hey, if you want to lay out at the beach, 71. It's all because of this ridge of high pressure sitting offshore. It's going to build on in here the next few days, so we will keep temperatures near 80. Then this will move east into the Great Basin, and that will open the door for systems to the north. Now, the models are all over the place, but as we kind of track this, it will be into northern California as we head into late Saturday. Kind of makes its way offshore, and then south and east. Does this look familiar? Kind of what we were seeing last weekend, and we thought we might pick up a good amount of rain, but guess what? We only picked up 1/100 of an inch, and that's the way this system is shaping up to be as well. So we're going to watch it carefully, but the models in terms of how much rain have been all over the place. 5/100 of an inch, maybe 1/10 of an inch up near Fresno. For us, if we're lucky, 3/100 of an inch, and maybe close to 1/10 of an inch down in Los Angeles. But again, they've been going back and forth. We could really use the rain. When we take a look at the drought monitor, as of today, we're still in that dry period into Bakersfield, most valley locations. Delano is in a moderate drought, and then up into the Kern River Valley, we're in a moderate drought as well. We need the rain, or this could change drastically heading into March and into April. Today, though, sunny skies and 79 in Bakersfield, 78 in Delano, 77 for Taft, and then for the mountains in the Kern River Valley. Beautiful day, sunny skies, a northwest wind 5 to 10, 63 in Fraser Park. Bear Valley, 62 today, and lower 70s into the Kern River Valley. Lake Isabel at 73, 71 in Kernville, and then for the desert, sunny skies, 67 in Mojave, and near 70 in Ridgecrest. Here's your extended forecast. Tomorrow, 78, 80 on Friday, and then increasing clouds on Saturday and a chance of rain late into Sunday. We'll also see a pretty big cool down. You go from 70s and 80s to the upper 50s on Sunday, but then rebounding back near 70 by next Tuesday. For the mountains, plenty of sunshine through Friday with mid-60s. Change on the way for the weekend with increasing clouds on Saturday, a chance of rain late. One thing to note here, models suggest snow levels dropping down about 3,500 feet. You're thinking, oh, the passes will be impacted. Not necessarily. The snow level will be low because there will be some cooler air behind it, but we're lacking the moisture content right now. So on Sunday, a high of 44, and then back into the mid-50s by next Tuesday. And then for the Kern River Valley, 70s through Saturday, and then we cool it down into the lower 50s by Sunday. You also, in the Kern River Valley, have a chance of some of that rain late Saturday into Sunday. So it's going to be one of those things where we continue to watch it carefully as we get closer to the end of the week. The models kind of come together a little better.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Kev. Yep. Well, with this spring-like weather, it's time for a barbecue. You can grab a tasty lunch tomorrow and help out the CSUB runners. It's the CSUB Spring Fundraiser Launch Barbecue drive-through directly behind the Fox Theater. You have to enter on 21st Street. You stop by between 11 and 1, and for $10, you'll get a tri-tip sandwich, drink, and chips. All of the money goes to benefit the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund. If you're trying to decide where to spend spring break, we'll have some ideas with top destinations around the country and some close to us here at home.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
We're back checking out your 17 Business Watch. The oil prices today are dropping. West Texas Intermediate down to $48.57 a barrel so far, and Midway Sunset started the day at $49.65 a barrel. New home sales soared last month to the fastest pace in more than 12 years. That's according to the Commerce Department. The agency said today sales of new homes jumped 7.9% in January. The Commerce Department says the homes sold at an annual rate of 764,000 last month, which is the highest sales rate since July 2007, shortly before the U.S. economy slumped into the Great Recession. Half of January's sales gains came from people buying homes that have yet to be constructed. Experts say that's possible evidence that low mortgage rates may be driving their decisions to purchase. Walmart is stepping up competition with Amazon. The retailer's debuting Walmart Fulfillment Services. The new service allows third-party vendors to hire Walmart to store, pack, and ship items for customers. Experts say the move could better position the big box retailer to compete against Amazon. The service could also speed up deliveries to customers by increasing the number of marketplace items with 2-day or next-day shipping. Google says it's continuing to grow and invest across America. The company's CEO announced today that Google will invest more than $10 billion in offices and data centers across the U.S. this year. The new investments will be focused in 11 states, including Colorado, Georgia, and Massachusetts. Google says the effort will create new jobs and will build on the momentum of last year's $13 billion investment in communities from South Carolina to Nevada. More than half of adults who have flown in the last 2 years think it's more stressful than going to work. That's the result of a new study released this morning by PointsGuy. 55% of American adults surveyed say the process of air travel, from booking tickets, packing, going to the airport, actually flying, they say it's all more stressful than going to work. 44% say it's more stressful than going to the dentist or spending the day with the in-laws. TripAdvisor is out with its top trending destinations in the U.S. Key Largo, Florida tops the list at number 1. The destinations were determined using an algorithm that measured a year-over-year increase in positive traveler review ratings. Moab, Utah, home of the Arches National Park, came in second, and Anna Maria Island, Florida, came in third. Santa Barbara and Brooklyn round out the top 5. A 6-year-old handcuffed at school. The story behind this shocking video out of Florida coming up next. Welcome back. New body cam video out of Florida of a school arrest that is sparking outrage. It shows a 6-year-old student pleading with officers to let her go as they place her under arrest. We have more now from NBC's Miguel Almaguer.
The arrest happened inside an Orlando charter school.
Come over here.
What are those for?
It's for you.
Former resource officer Dennis Turner telling another officer in this video to put a 6-year-old in restraints.
No, I don't want handcuffs on. No, don't put handcuffs on. Help me.
The incident, captured on body cam last September, unfolding after staff complained the little girl was acting out.
You don't want to? No, please. You have to. No, please. Give me a second.
The child hauled away to a squad car, begging to be let go. In his police report, Turner said staff wanted to press charges, which the school denies. The video shows employees asking if restraints are necessary.
Yes. And if she was bigger, she would have been wearing regular handcuffs. But
Turner then says his latest arrest is a new milestone.
6,000 people I've arrested over the 28 years. 7 is the youngest. She's 8, isn't she? She's 6. Now she has broken the record.
With all charges dropped against the 6-year-old, days later, Turner was out of a job. Perhaps a bigger lesson learned at school that day. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Thanks for joining us here for noon. We'll see you back tonight at 5 and 6.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.